Hey guys, we're out here on a bright, sunny, basically first big sunny hot stretch in spring this year in Alberta. It's gonna be, well, 70 today, 20 degrees, but progressively hotter, 30 above, which is high 80s if not 90 by Monday, and bright sun. And the squala stoneflies are just about to do their thing, though not reliably. Yep. So we're kind of like this today.
Oh yeah. Cross double fingers,
yeah,
as Dave said, with my awesome band-aid here.
Yeah. So we're gonna go out in the boat today. We're gonna float the river, but we're not just gonna float and cast and fish. If we do that, I already know that if we're gonna do that, we'd be chucking streamers pretty much all day. But what we want to do is just kind of float, pick off a bank that we can get out, drop anchor, and have a look for either a rise or an actual fish in the water, hey?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about having the boat, right? Is that we just use it to get from one spot to another, and we're looking the whole time. We'll probably do some prospecting in between, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll do that.
No, actually, I will.
Know. You will. I know a few
you
things
had the great
I want to row you on.
You had the amazing day the other day with 4 or 5 2-foot browns.
You're up.
How about my turn, you know?
No, it's your turn for sure. But not just to prospect. We hope to find you a couple rises.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
That's the hope.
The water level is about 4 or 5 feet of visibility. A little bit off flowery as this river tends to flow. But let's go and have a look and see what we see.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's a rise right there, love, right off that point there. So let's you back off, way off of that. But it was a subtle rise, which is far more encouraging. Yes. So we're having a tough one. Day like today where it's bright, sunny, and no wind at all. Well, okay, there's a light breeze from the southeast feeding a storm to our north. What we did as we came along here, I know that there was a chance of rising fish just upstream of us along the bank, and I didn't want to just pound either streamers or big dry flies, caddis, a larger caddis sedge, or stoneflies. So I had Amelia swing us drift along the far side here, and that way I could just kind of cast at random structure in the middle of the river at best, and then come all the way around, kind of the tail out there. Well, that guy just rose right there, hey? Jeepers. Yeah. Anyway, and this is why. Come right across the shallow tail out, and then, oh, that one rose up there too. So we now have had 3 nice fish rise on this bank just upstream as the cloud comes over. That one little dinky little cloud over the sun, that's enough shade to get fish rising up on this shoreline here. And that slough bank in the last quarter of the outturned corner is always gold. You get that depth, you get that cut bank, you get that slough bank, you got structure, everything that a big old brown that just wants to sit and get fat and happy has, just to enjoy life. Everything's sitting right there, and that closest fish is right on that point right there, and he's just been back and forth. Okay, back and forth. 4 rises. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not been hot and heavy, but that's why you come around, and that's why in this situation you swing around, you have your lunch, and then you slowly get yourself ready and really look back up the shoreline. Basically there's 3, maybe a 4th fish within 50 yards on this bank, and that's what we're going to target. And I'm going to end up going, oh geez, because I have a puff of headwind, it's sometimes hard to get those long leaders to turn over with a bit of a puff of a headwind. It sounds bizarre, but so probably going to go 14-foot leader down to 5X, and I'll probably tie on a slenderly tied size 12 2X shank, kind of an elk hair caddis, and then I'm going to go about 18 inches below that on 5X. I'm going to tie on a size 14, if not 16, elk hair caddis, and we're going to just wait for a rise. And when I see the rise, I'm probably going to try to put the fly, 18 to 24 inches one side of the rise or the other, and I'm trying to gently, gingerly feed the fish right in its zone without going smack. It's a real delicate ginger balance, especially when this sun comes back out. But what else you got? They're not looking at streamers, they're not rising to big dries, the squalas. So here we are in kind of a real rock and hard place. But if we can set up on this, we could conceivably spend the next 2 hours on these 3 or 4 fish and just see what happens. So I'm going to switch up, and Amelia's going to keep trying to get a couple of rises on video. And, well, my guess is not a lot's going to happen, but we're going to try. So my plan was to do a double caddis dry fly setup with size 12 and a size 16 caddis, but this fish right at the back end here is rising pretty good. By pretty good, I mean on a bright sunny day with no wind and no bugs. How often do you think it's going to rise? But he just went again. That's about 5 or 6 in a row. Amelia's just setting up on the camera, and because it's there, my original plan was to cast about 2 feet out and upstream of the fish and use my smarts and try to draw that fish laterally to come out. And my other problem is that sun angle, you know, everything is against me from where I have to fish. And I think I'm going to just drop it and go with a size 14 or 16 elk hair caddis on its own, just a single dry. Because if I have to go at that fish at all, if it doesn't want to come out, which is a strong possibility. See, I'm indecisive here. And that's exactly how it goes, because I know there's 1 fish and 2 fish, and I know there's a top fish, a third fish, but it's not showing much. And now, of course, I've got a puff of a headwind coming on strong as well that I'm going to have to cast into. And if I know that I'm going to have to punch it into the wind, it's going to land a little bit harder. So I don't know if I'll be able to go straight at the fish proper, as opposed to putting it out from the fish and drawing that fish out. In which case, if that's the case, then I may as well use the double dry fly, right? And if you look up the shoreline, this is exactly how it goes. You can see this nice calm flat stuff right here, and look at what the wind's doing. So it's coming right at me, and it's deflecting off the bank and leaving a dead calm spot there. So even though I have to punch it into that wind, it's gonna turn over right there and go smackos. So that's the you know, critical part of this whole thing is, what can I get away with and still have a chance? So since we started, the wind was coming like this. It's now coming straight across the river right into that bank, and as soon as it started shifting like that, there hasn't been a rise in there. And I'm not sure if that's just the wind blowing all the bugs out of the zone or what's going on, but nothing doing on the 90-degree wind shift. Okay, so we started off with 3 or 4 fish. So the very, very top one up there rose. That's the first time in about half hour for him. And anyway, we started off with 3, 4 risers. That's a nice fish up there. And there's only 1 left. So I'm just going to work my way in here, love, and I'm going to get going. Okay, I'm just going to slowly kind of pop my caddis in the water there. It's going to be a real slow work in here, because I don't know if this guy is still here and there's nothing that he's eating, or if he's moved off, or what is going on. I've gone single dry fly to a size 14 or 16 elk hair caddis. Where did this fish go? That's the question. If I could see the fish, if it was doing something that said, I'm right here and do this, but I'm trying to feed it in there without spooking what might not even be there. Literally everything on this bank has stopped rising. So I'm just gonna fish it, screw it. From 4 to nothing. I really want something. There he was. That's a little one, but I'll take it. Nice. Boy, that took some doing. Some really, really soft casting. Holy cow. Wow. prospecting with 5X and a size 16 caddis to a fish that hadn't risen in probably 40 minutes. Jeepers. Isn't that amazing? It's just crazy. You just know that he was searching. Yeah, it was bizarre. I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong. But that's fish number one. I don't know, 17, 18 inches. Yeah, gorgeous little male.
Bigger than actually when you first saw a little smaller fish.
Yeah, oh, it's
a nice fish.
Yeah. Oh, let's just let it go on actually, love. Ready?
You bet.
Okay, here I go.
Awesome.
Oh. Well, he did me a favor, hey?
Oh, yeah.
Jeepers, that's tough and finicky stuff. Yeah. So in this kind of stuff here, yeah, the fish quit rising. Like, these are the days where sometimes anything can happen and part of anything is nothing. And when a fish was shown to be rising and searching a little bit and then quits, well, where is he now? Well, he could be anywhere. So the whole idea of the casting, that's where the 14-foot, 15-foot leader to 5X to a single dry fly comes in. And I was nervous at first, but then I got my mojo back of just casting and just kind of working the edges. And sometimes, you know, if you can just lay a cast in there, just pause and place, lay it out straight, you'll get that fish that had been rising to come and have a look. And that's what happened. I mean, just because it quit doesn't mean it's not going to come and feed. So the whole idea there is just to work gently, lay out some casts gently. I mean, all you can do is try. And there's no guarantees of success or failure. But yeah, you can at least give yourself a really solid opportunity just by a light energy. Listen to that, barely anything, and just on the water, right? Okay, so now that we have a bit of a bank, this is what we love to do right here, is to get up on a bank and sight. But we're at really nice fish up there. Look at that wake. Let's just stand up. That's a big fish.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
That was the original fish that I think we saw when it came down. The point is that we're at a bit of a disadvantage right now because it's not the clearest water and there's a lot of white puffy cloud reflections.
Yeah.
And it's not like these are humongous fish that are sitting here, and it's not like they're right tight against the bank. Now that last fish was, but where's it going to show? You want there to be something for sure. You know, this isn't easy, hey? Different. Oh, that's a good fish up there, Mills. Oh my, yeah, that fish that's rising. Come stand beside me. Doesn't matter. You can't miss that. See his tail? Stand up.
Oh, I see. I think I see his tail.
If you think, or you definitely do.
I definitely do.
No, we got a really cool fish upstream. He's up on the bank. There's a really cool sandy shelf just above the fish, and I'm not sure exactly what it's eating. There's crane flies, there's squallas, there's red ants, flying ants, there's a few caddis, there's spent March brown spinners, and everything in between. And this fish is willing to travel, and what you can see from Amelia's vantage is massively different. Now, I'm going to be going by rise, just so you know, because there's no way. Remember the other day, I'm Silver Surfer here. Oh yeah, okay. So he's still by that stick, eh? Yeah, I've got a perfectly placed big white cloud. So when he rises again, I'm just looking for you to tell me if you want my fly to the right or left of the rings, okay? It's funny because I'm fully expecting this fish to spook on the cast because it's such flat, glassy water, no wind, bright sky. Oh, I see him. I finally saw that. Yeah.
Okay, I'd love it to the right of that.
Okay, here we go. There you are. Really? Wow. Okay. I just have his shape. I don't have his shape. Ugh. He's kind of drifting to the right there, isn't he? Oh, okay. I'll try. Ready?
Yeah. Great cast. Perfect cast. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Yes. Yes, love. Thank you. Man, good call. Perfect call. Thank you. Oh, I was nervous just on that one. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Thanks, love. Oh, that made just spectacular. I don't like having that loop-to-loop knot in the rod, but yeah, I was just behind him. And as soon as he said no, that wasn't the cast, it was like, oh, then I saw the shape. And when I saw the shape, it was like, yeah, okay. And it looked way bigger than it is. It's a nice fish, don't get me wrong. Still probably 21, 22 inch female, but what a pitch and catch, eh? Oh man, thanks, love. That was really exciting. Woo! Okay, so she's not done. Sometimes when they get in this muddy stuff, they quit. Yeah, sometimes they don't. Okay, make sure I don't have a tennis racket here. That's just when the mesh of your net wraps over. Like if I did that, there's your tennis racket. Just don't do that. There was a lot of intensity for me on that one because it took so long to work through this entire run. Yeah? Come on, Dave. In the net. Yes. Wicked.
Wicked awesome.
Oh. There we go. Not just a gorgeous female, hey? Really? You ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Rolling.
Wicked.
Nice.
That took some time.
Absolutely, but so worth it.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, I was nervous on that cast, but we nailed it. All right, so that's exactly why I said, you know, we may end up spending 2 hours on this bank. Got the first one. We knew there was 3 fish. We got the first one. The second one just altogether quit rising.
Oh yeah.
But I knew it was just in this bucket right in here. And I didn't want to get above this little point because back where we caught that fish, it was like, yeah, he's just above that point. Got up to this point, and sure as anything, it just cycles in front of me. Wasn't rising. Wasn't going to eat my caddis. It was like, oh, and then we lost sight of it.
Yep.
And then that fish started rising, going up top there. It was like, well, we can't ignore that one. But as we were coming in, it was like, this is going to be 2 hours. And it's 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's how long this takes. Hey?
Oh, it takes time. And I mean, because once we got up on that high bank, right?
Yeah.
We just started to look in the water, guys. And it's not crystal clear water. No. And it's actually with the type of lighting it is, it's not that easy sighting.
And then the clouds and the wind come and go, come and go. Picked off the one, just working the edge, protecting the edge in the cast, and just feathering it where it needed to go. Got it. And then this one up here, as soon as we were up in the bank and that rose, it's like, here's that, it was a dark back female, you know, 22 inches plus or minus.
And once you could see it, you could not see it,
But the second I got down here, I couldn't see it again. It was like, oh no. So I'm staring at this pewter water. I mean, that's what I was staring at. Try to find a fish in that stuff. Yeah. But Amelia's up on top of the bank. And
I could follow the fish the whole time.
First cast.
First cast, you were just a little behind it and a little to its side. And I could see instantly, I'm watching that fish. Is he going to turn and respond?
No response.
And I knew right away. I was like, no, Dave, you got to get another couple feet. You'll lead the fish. And sure enough, exactly what
But I was nervous, and I know I nailed the cast. It was only about 2 feet further up from my first.
You nailed the cast.
But it was just a cast where you put it, and all the fish has to do is just cock its peck fins like 2 degrees, come up, and what a slow eat, hey?
Oh, yeah, he just slowly comes up and just dimples the surface. It was so gorgeous to watch. Oh,
so, I don't know. It's now 3:30, and you know, we're just going to stick to our guns and look for heads and rises. We'll go around the corner. There's a real nice shelving gravel riffle, and sorry about that. We'll have a look. I'm pretty stoked here still. Nothing else rising. But again, though, had that middle fish, that's what's going to bug me. Had that middle fish kept rising, I would have picked her off too. But no, that's how it goes. So I got 2 of the 3 that were rising.
Yep.
And it only took 2 hours. But the key thing is, on a day like today, dead calm. I mean, this is glass calm water. And I was 15 foot leader to 5X and a single dry fly. I changed that. That was the one thing I said, you know, I'm just going to go with size 16 elk hair caddis, and we're just going to feather the edges of where the fish either were rising or I think they might be.